Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So I know I promised a video yesterday. By the time this comes out, it might be 2 days, not entirely sure. With the upload, that sometimes takes forever. Just work out crazy, and I just needed, some time to just breathe. So I have been thinking about how to do this video. And I've been kind of going back and forth, and I'm choosing the respectable path. So I know this is going to piss off some people and frustrate some people, but I'm gonna explain everything. So somebody commented on a video about kind of a case that was related to my high school. So obviously my name is out there, and with a quick Facebook thing, you could find my Facebook, and not that I have it on there anymore, but I'm pretty sure you guys can find some tags of my high school. It's not a secret, and I know I haven't mentioned my high school name, and there is a reason for that. I know I am not protecting anybody. However, from the situation that I have been through. However, there are some people that have gone through some not nice things in that high school that I went to, and they might not feel comfortable with perhaps people digging into certain things. Again, I'm fine with, whatever people will bring up and look into my past. I get that, and they will find out, where I went to school. But the whole thing is, guys, you have to remember there are other people that have been to that school, that have gone through certain situations, and I want to protect those people from, things that they might not want, that they might have moved on from, or they just don't want to be dragged through the mud again. So that's why I haven't said my high school's name. Again, some of you have already figured out where I went to, some of you might even be watching who's related to the people that hurt me. And, they want to dig up everything and, just watch what I have to say and whatnot. And to that, I just say, if you're trying to play some sick and twisted game or try to be an informant, I don't think that's, the right thing. But if that's what you want to do, I'm not afraid. It is out here. So if something does happen, you guys are idiots. But anyways, so yes, I'm going to tread very carefully on this topic. So I am not going to be stating names. I'm going to be doing a brief overhaul of the situation, and I'm going to be kind of tying it into mine and talking about it. So please, guys, be respectful of that. I know that a lot of you guys out there on the internet like to go digging and like to have all the names, and if you don't know every single piece of information, that frustrates you. But just remember that there are other people that might not want to have their names out there, to have people be digging into their past and situations. So please be mindful of that. This is why I'm treading carefully. So before everything that happened with me, there were two situations that kind of put a black spot on my high school. And I think that's why my situation, again, I don't have proof of this, but this is what I'm saying. I think this is where kind of things, not that I'm defending anybody, I'm just saying where the school wanted to just bury everything. So there was two situations where two girls were severely bullied. One was on a school bus, and that whole situation of her being bullied on there, and then the school basically doing nothing. But however, because they said they were off school property, which in fact is true, but also BS, they are still technically, by law, if they are taking a school bus, basically on school property until they step off that bus and onto the street. So when a situation on the bus happens, on a school bus, it is the school's responsibility to deal with it. And unfortunately, the school didn't really deal with it. They kind of said that they were going to deal with it, and they kind of they didn't take it as serious as they thought. Again, they just thought that they were kids. The girl ended up leaving the school, and that's all that I know of. Now, there was another situation that was brought to my attention that I do remember actually hearing about, and this is where I'm going to kind of dive a little bit deeper into this, treading carefully, relating to the school, not the situation. Again, this girl was bullied, and physically harmed and violated by their personal property of the house. So they went to the home and violated it by doing some really disgusting things. And one was charged, and the others involved were suspended, I think not for a long time, because they were really back in school by the time that this case got brought to the news. Again, I am doing a glaze over the situation just out of respect to the individual that this situation happened to. So please respect that. Again, the school really didn't do a lot. The person that was charged, I do believe, got off on community service, because they were, underage and all that stuff. Again, the school didn't really, they were more, okay, so this situation was kind of taken a little bit more serious, not to the extent where people really took notice. It was mostly, brushed under the rug, because this did make news. There was a whole news thing done on it. So the school, sorry, I'm just trying to look for the right words to be respectful of the whole situation. Not to the school, but to the individual that this happened. I think that the school made it out to be that this girl was very pretty. She was, I don't want to give out too many details, but she was not a popular girl, but she was well known, really nice. And the school kind of made it out like she was too nice, and the people got the wrong message, and then, they kind of just said that this is a good learning experience for young teenagers and stuff, and that was it. There wasn't really anything done within the school. No rules were changed, nothing. It was very quiet. There was a newsletter released to the school, and then that was it. So when my situation took place, the school, I do believe, was the way that they were acting towards me, again, it's their word against mine, but the actions that they took place in my situation was very, like, they were annoyed. And they also stated, I haven't talked about this, but they brought these situations to my attention. There was one of them with the bus that I knew, and then briefly this other one. Again, both of them were really before my time at that school. I think one was literally when I was just coming in, like the first month of my ninth year of school. But they kind of made it like, oh, I heard of these situations and I'm trying to get attention that way. Like, I'm using that as a kind of, I don't know, it was very weird how they put it. Like, I was attention seeking, and that it was wrong for me to go through that route, right? That they thought, oh, well, because you saw us handle those situations, that I was kind of being that attention seeking person. And I honestly thought that was very disrespectful. First of all, don't compare anybody's situation and make it a competition. That's disgusting, and degrading to all parties involved. And to not take a situation very seriously, because they were kind of tired of dealing with stuff like this. Again, my word against theirs, but basically that's what they said. I think is very, very wrong. It doesn't matter if multiple situations happen like this, or other multiple situations happen of something else. You don't take one less serious than the other. You look into it, you put your full efforts into it. And I never got that. And from what I read, these girls didn't get it either. It was very kind of painted as like it was their fault, it was my fault, and it was very disgusting. It's very disrespectful to have, and I'm just focusing on a high school now, just to have kind of like a time period stopper on this. It does kind of break down to other ages too, but I'm just gonna focus on high school for now, and I'll make another video going onwards, from like onwards and then backwards, if that makes sense. So in high school, you're gearing up to be an adult. High school's supposed to be the years that you're maturing and you're trying to figure out and you're getting ready to be an adult. You're gonna go out into the real world, right? And they're trying to have all these like, you have to, act a certain way, real life situations, right? They're trying to teach you real life situations, what I'm trying to get at. And the whole thing with that is, okay, that's great. But by demonstrating that you're not going to take this real life situation as a, society that is trying to teach you to be a good human being, to be, those role models, and not putting that forth in a serious situation. Not saying that any other situation isn't serious, but in a serious situation like mine, and not take it serious and kind of really fling it off your shoulder, laugh about it, make excuses, blame the victim. Again, not calling myself a victim, just kind of stating in general. It's very, I don't even know the word for it. It kind of frustrates me. like, who the hell do they think they are? I know that kind of sounds very aggressive, but that's my question. Who in their right mind gave them that decision, that choice, to not take any of these situations seriously? To kind of just fling it under the rug, sit back and be like, oh, you know, this is what it is, but, we're such and such school, and we're a really great school, nothing bad happens here, and we're against bullying, and, any of that will be, taken very seriously. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, that is bullshit. How dare they? They have no right to stand up and say any of that and have any of these situations. And at every single turn that, you want your voice to be heard, they just shut you down. Like, and this is where this really pisses me off. So the situation that I talked about with the police getting involved in that one situation. So I think the school learned from that they had to jump on it before I was able to go to the police. That if they jumped on it before me, it couldn't look bad on them, type of thing. And how I say this is, okay, so this person went to the police and one of them got charged. Okay, there was enough evidence for that person to be charged and arrested, and others getting suspended. In my situation, the school called the police in, basically whitewashed it, saying that I was, the person instigating all of this, that it was my fault, that there's no evidence, that if I ever did come to the police, I was basically crying wolf. So I didn't have two legs to stand on in that situation. And that's the truth. I got pulled in, talked to the police, and I've talked about this before, basically got told to shut up because there was no proof, and that, I can't cry wolf. So, again, I'm not comparing situations. I'm just kind of tying this into my situation isn't worse than hers, or her situation isn't worse than mine. I'm just saying the school was very sneaky on what they did. It was basically cover their asses and yeah. They thought basically 10 steps in front of any direction to basically stop me from having a voice. And that's very sad. That pisses me off. Again, like, I didn't have the range of thinking of this, but looking back, it's kind of like, wow. Like, for them not to even hear out my situation, to look into it, to have my back, nothing. And when I mean nothing, I mean nothing. Nada. I was the one that was getting in school suspensions or sent home, or talking to, threatened, when somebody walks into a classroom and basically threatens that I should kill myself or they should kill me, and the teacher laughs about it, saying boys will be boys. I think that's a big what the hell moment. And it has taken me many years to process all of this. It's a lot to process, it's kind of crazy to kind of look at the whole situation. I know, to take a step back, not to compare any situations, I would never do that, but just kind of see the range of how the school's pattern escalated into that, of really stopping somebody from getting justice, from getting help, because they just didn't want another black mark on their name. They didn't want their name to be dragged through the mud again. They didn't want to put out the resources to help somebody because that was just one person. I think that's absolutely disgusting. And for the other two that had their situations and how the school handled that, I think is absolutely disgusting and disrespectful for them too. It's just wrong. It's really frustrating to look back on, and just kind of see the whole picture and realize how disgusting it was. Kind of like no words for this. And I'll probably do another video on this, like with more kind of like just not to talk about this situation. So this is the only video besides the last one, so these two videos, so last one and this one, that I'm going to be talking about any of those situations that they went through. If you have any comments about it, please be respectful. But again, I'm not going to be digging into any of them, and I'm not going to be talking about those situations because, you know, they deserve to live their lives in peace, and if they've moved on from the situation that they don't want to talk about it, so be it. So please be respectful of that. If I do another video, it's not going to be about their situation. It's going to be kind of more digging into my high school, I think, and looking a lot more into it, because honestly, it's so, there's no words to describe how I feel just looking back on all of this and just seeing it. It just frustrates me. Kind of makes me sick to my stomach. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave that video kind of on a cliffhanger. Not really. I just think that the people that were hurt in these situations never got justice. They never got support. They never got anything from the adults that they basically spent most of their time with for 4 years, or we're going to spend 4 years with, but, you know, some got out of the situation. And I'm very lucky for those who were able to get out of the situation. Again, please be respectful in the comments. I'm not one to beg or anything, but guys, please don't go digging into these anymore. Again, I know I did a broad kind of coverage of both situations, but they deserve respect, and I don't think they want it out there. I don't know, but I think that they deserve the peace and all of that. That's why I was treading very carefully on these situations, being respectful not to bring up their names or talk too much about the situations. Again, please don't go looking for them. Don't go looking into what they're doing now. Just let them be. I haven't done any of that. I just broadly talked about these things. But again, if you have any questions towards like my situation, feel free to, drop a comment below. But again, if you guys have a comment on any of those other situations, again, please be respectful. If you know their names, do not use their names. Just please be respectful, and just, again, don't bring up their names. Just be respectful. Anyways, guys, I know I've said that multiple times. I just want to be respectful. Anyways, guys, remember, never give up, always keep fighting. You're enough, and you're very much loved. Until the next video, guys, stay safe. I love you.